too. Like double whammy. Hey, how's it going? This is Chaz Carrillo and Elizabeth Hernandez. We're from the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber. We're super excited today to take questions about the Ingham County Sunrise Grant Program. We are a partner with LEAP for that program, and really excited to be able to share with you and hopefully answer a few questions about this awesome program. The applications, maybe the most important part, the applications for these are due by the 30th of this month. So if you haven't applied or you're kind of on the edge of thinking it's worth it, this is for you to really understand what it's about, why we're here, and why we need to help you get through that to potentially access $5,000 to $25,000 in grant funds if you're an Ingham County business. So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit more about the Sunrise Grant.
So as Chaz mentioned, we are partnering with LEAP, and we today will give you an overview of the Ingham County Sunrise Grant Program. And again, they've allocated $11 million to help small businesses and nonprofits to recover from some of those negative effects of COVID-19.
Awesome. And so part of that is defining if you're an eligible business. So we want to go through those guidelines real quick so that you would know if your business qualifies. One of the first thing is if you have a physical location, but including home-based businesses in Ingham County. This is an Ingham County program. So if that generates revenue and employment, including self-employment and sole proprietors, then you would qualify. If you have fewer than 100 workers on the payroll, which includes full-time, part-time, owner employees, working from a specific business location tied to the grant application. If you have fewer than 250 workers across all locations throughout your entire business, then you would qualify. If you have at least 50% of your whole workforce for the business must be employed in Michigan. So this is not designed to work with a lot of corporations and larger groups. This is meant to be small business focused. If you have been directly and negatively impacted by COVID-19, resulting from economic crisis or revenue loss, this is, again, a program for you. You would need to demonstrate need for working capital to support payroll, maybe rent or mortgage, any utility bills or regular expenses in the future to recover and sustain your growth and grow your operations. Outside of that, if you've remained in compliance with all the state and local guidelines related to COVID-19 since March of 2020, and your business cannot be involved with growing, manufacture, and distribution of any cannabis products. It's not a franchise, a location, unless it's locally owned. So if you have, let's say, an Applebee's here, if the owner is Ingham County, locally owned, then that would qualify. So your physical business or nonprofit location must be in Ingham County to apply for this program. As far as the group categories in different areas that we're focused on, Elizabeth can tell us a little bit more about what those categories look like, again, to know if your business fits inside of this program.
Okay, so we'll start with retail goods and services. These are non-food programs, traditional retail food services, exercise facilities, professional services, and other goods and services providers that are not prepared foods or drink providers fall into this category. Or I'm sorry, foods and goods services providers that are not prepared foods. Yeah, that's fall into the restaurants and eateries program.
Yeah, so like gyms, salons would be a good situation. Professional services like insurance or financial planning might fit in that side. Those are the type of businesses we're looking for in that category.
Okay. And we're going to also touch on the tourism and hospitality services. So this is, again, another non-food category. that provides that these grants can you can put in for those grants as well. Any nonprofit organizations, and that's non-government and non-food, sole proprietors, new business opening, any new businesses opening during the pandemic, as well as, again, the restaurants, eateries, and taverns. Those are also eligible candidates for this.
Yeah, and the new business guideline, I believe, is January of 2020. If you opened a business January 2020 or after, that would qualify under that new business category.
So we also have grants that will be in the following categories, and these are based on needs and available funds. So if you are an incubator or any entrepreneurial services agencies, again, those are based on need and available funds. Also, childcare, early childhood education, and activity providers that fall into that list.
Yep, and the last one would be restaurants and food service. So that is its own category because we know that that's a category that's been hit very hard during this pandemic. So there are funds set aside for each of these groups so that LEAP can connect to the community, identify that need, and based on the amount of workers, there's a sliding scale for the amount of funds you could get for each category. For most of those, they're based on number of workers, and that it's important to delineate that that is not W-2 workers. They classify that very broadly, just mean to say workers in general for your business. And through the application process, they'll ask you for specific dates of what your employment levels were. So for any of those categories, depending on the number of workers, you qualify either $5,000 to $25,000 in funds in this grant. And again, that is a sliding scale that moves up every time you add more workers to it because it wants to be proportional to the impact on your business. The only category that is not based on number of workers is the nonprofit category. Currently, the way that is structured is that if you have a $50,000 budget or less, that is a $10,000 grant that you qualify for as a nonprofit, a non-food nonprofit to be specific. And if your budget is over that, then you would qualify for a $20,000 grant according to the current structure. And again, these applications are due by the 30th of this month. There was a misquote or print in a local newspaper and said it was the 30th of last month. That is not true. This goes through the 30th of this month of July for you to get those applications in. And if you have any issue with the application process or the website that we have strolling on the bottom here, please reach out to us. At the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber, we are here as a partner with LEAP to help people get through that application process and answer any questions you have so that you can get through it quickly and efficiently.
We want to also encourage you now to send in any questions that you might have that we could try to answer for you live. And I also want to just give an opportunity or a shout out to some of those other partners that are on this same journey to help to spread the word. So if you have a contact with any of these individuals, please reach out. Again, we really want you to reach out to who you feel comfortable with. But as the Lansing Hispanic Chamber, we really just want to spread the word as well as the others. Some of those organizations are One Love Global, Lansing Chamber of Commerce, Capacito Caliente, Michigan Women Forward, Refuge Development Department, Vietnam Veterans of America, Disability Network Capital Area, and Melanated Business Alliance, and then the NAACP Lansing branch. So again, Chaz and I are here from the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber, but please feel free to reach out to any of those organizations as well, as they are partners.
And as far as just an example, I can say just over the last few days, I've been working with a food truck that applied for the grant. I've worked with a local gym that applied for the grant. Talked to a nonprofit this morning that's going through that process. And just last week, I talked to a dentist that their business has been severely affected by the pandemic, and they are going through the application process right now. So it looks like a lot of different businesses locally, and we're just trying to get the word out so that people know these funds are accessible. This application process is not like many other application processes that happened at the beginning of COVID. Usually those were time-based, and maybe there was a portal or a website you went to, and unfortunately you got in line, and at the end of that line, you made it or you didn't make it based on how fast your browser speed was. This is a very different process, and Leap renovated this process to be more applicable and equitable when it looked at all the applicants. So they have a window for applications, and then they will have distribution of funds as the applications are reviewed. So whether you applied and did it the first day, or if you wait till the 30th and do it at 11:59 p.m. and it gets loaded, that'll go through the same review process where they identify where the greatest needs are, which categories make sense for that group, and if they get approved or not. So it's a much more equitable way to look at this, which isn't based on browser speed or internet speed. It's based on real need and real identity of the issue or problem at hand. And so we're excited to be a part of this process. We're excited to be able to answer questions for anyone listening, to make sure that, again, they get through that process and we get all those applications, submitted before the end of the month. So what do we do now? So I don't know if we have any questions yet.
So let's put one question out there. Let's just answer this. How do you apply? Businesses apply by going to www.purelansing.com/sunrise, and you can find that on the screen as well. And so that's where you apply. There's lots of information there. There's answers to your questions, and there's also assistance on how you get through each step.
For the for the different categories, I just wanted to mention, right now we have had, I just recently got an email this morning, earlier today, indicating that childcare was a category that they thought might be a focus for Ingham County. Currently, we've only had just over a dozen applications in that category. So if you know a business or utilize a business in Ingham County that provides childcare and was affected by COVID-19, please let that group know that these funds are available, and we are more than happy to help them get through that application process and make sure that they get those funds if needed. So that's one category I just wanted to focus on to make sure that people know that it is available. Obviously, there's a lot of us utilizing childcare services right now. So if you utilize them, those business owners, just reach out to them and let them know that this is a program that applies to them. We have a question. I'm excited. We have a question.
All right.
So, are nonprofits eligible? Elizabeth?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, you are. Put your application in, even if you think you're not eligible. Again, the nonprofits and for-profit businesses are eligible. If you have any questions, please go through the website. Again, it's purelansing.com/sunrise. Lots of questions can be answered there. You can ask us questions here. And of course, you can give us a call if you would like, again, that more direct assistance, and we can help you through this. But if you have any nonprofits, you are eligible, and any for-profits businesses, you are eligible as well.
So I'm going to,
question.
Yes, that's a great question. I'm going to go through the line by line explanation of that nonprofit category, because there are a few little hitches there to make sure that your nonprofit would apply. It has to be a non-government, non-food, non-incubator, non-child care nonprofit. So that would include things like libraries, museums, churches, religious centers, philanthropic, social service, advocacy organizations. It could be any of those things. It just can't be food related, government, or a startup group, because again, those incubators, for profit, nonprofit, are in their own category, and childcare is not has its own category as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you don't qualify, just that you might be under a different category, just to clarify what that nonprofit looks like. So super excited for our first question. Thank you so much, Johnny. I appreciate it. So while we wait for our next question, Elizabeth's going to look up another frequently asked question, and I'm going to tell you about the distributions of the funds. So if you get all the applications in, it gets awarded to you. Those funds are not distributed equally and on the same day. They've separated you out as far as category, and then provided those categories for us so that we can tell you exactly when the distributions will be made. So by August 31st, if you're in retail goods and services, tourism, hospitality, or in the new business during pandemic category, that's when the awards would be distributed to those groups. Then on September 30th, that will distribute to nonprofits, sole proprietors, discretionary critical emergency groups, funding. That will be done on September 30th, and those will be sent out. By October 31st, that is the category of restaurants, childcare, and incubators. So if you're in that category, that's when you would expect, if you do get awarded with the grant, then you will get the funds distributed on October 31st in that category. And we have another question from Johnny, keeping us busy. All right, so Johnny says, how many grants will be awarded? Elizabeth, what do you have to say to that?
Well, well, that depends on how many applications come in. So, we have $11 million that needs to be dispersed, and we have lots of businesses and nonprofits that, may or may not apply, but we are encouraging all to apply. We really want to bring focus to really helping these organizations. Even again, if you think you're not eligible, please put in, because we do have the money this time around to be able to at least potentially generate 90 to 95% of that money out. We really wanted to get that and push it out where it needs, where the needs are.
Absolutely, it's a great answer. So I don't have anything to add to that because she did it beautifully. I will say that a big part of this and the group administering these grants is LEAP. So Ingham County hired LEAP to do this, and then they did a great thing by connecting to local community partners like the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber to make sure that this got out, make sure that people would be boots on the ground to get the word out, to market the application itself and answer questions and take people through that application, which we've been doing since last month. We really wanted this live opportunity to be a resource for people to answer any questions, but also clearly state what it is instead of just pointing to the page and pointing to resources that have to just be read off the website or the application link. So again, we want to thank LEAP for that partnership, for that opportunity to connect to our community and really plug in resources to areas and businesses to keep them alive and thriving during this time. So do we have any more frequently asked questions, Elizabeth?
Yes, absolutely. We will go now to a question. What if I am a one-person nonprofit? Am I eligible? Yes, absolutely. You are eligible for that. And that would fall into the nonprofit category. Rather than what some would think would be a sole proprietor category, which is for-profit businesses. So again, if you are a single person nonprofit, again, please apply. And we want to continue to express the urgency and really just putting your business out there to try to get some of these funds, because these funds were allocated to help our businesses and to help us recover from what the small businesses have gone through the COVID-19 effects.
So I'm going to touch on the nonprofit again. We've kind of belabored that a little bit, but recently I've had 3 different community organizations that I worked with apply for the grant, and they were all community business nonprofits. which was I think a great fit for this program. So I have a group of business owners that get together in a specific region around Ingham County. In all those categories, they're supporting those business owners, trying to attract people back to those markets and get out and do work in the community and buy things and services and food and all that stuff. Those grants have been or those grant applications have been pretty smooth. We took them through it. They had no idea that was a possibility for them, and we're really looking forward to going through that application. Hopefully, they'll be awarded the grant. It was also a great partnership because they got to communicate to all of their business owners that were all in Ingham County to make sure they were aware of the funds being available and the application window, which again ends on the 30th of July, the end of this month, next week. Apply quickly and make sure that as far as getting the process started, and let us know if you have any issues with that. Below on the bar, you've seen the website directly for the Sunrise Grants. We have our phone number available if you want to give us a call, potentially leave us a message about whatever question comes up. And you can also email us any questions that we can kind of try to reply and get back to you. So I have a question that's completely unrelated. That's a private message to me. So I will not be answering that. It has to do with something else. So yeah, I will close that out. Any other frequently asked questions you want to talk about, Elizabeth?
Yes, we will talk about the grants, the grant awards being made public. Yes, they will be made public once all grants have been scored and monies are confirmed to be allocated. Then we will post those, and that will be, again, administered by LEAP, or Lansing Area Economic Area Partnership. So LEAP will be presenting those and publishing them publicly. So again, you can also look for that on their website at www.purelansing.com/sunrise.
So I think one question that I have, and I've actually answered for many business owners and sole proprietors, this process has been if they need an employer identification number to apply for the grant. You do not. So you can have an employer tax identification number or tax identification number, EIN or TIN. If you have one, yes, you can provide it. If not, you can provide a Social Security for the business owner or one of the business owners to fill in that slot. That's been, it's a really small stumbling block, but I've gotten that question multiple times, and just want to assure you that is not a hurdle for applying this. It's an easy bar to jump over. If you have any questions about that, please let us know. If you have any questions about it, please start asking us those questions so we don't have to pretend to ramble here and read some things that we want, that we're trying to fill the time. We're happy to provide as much information as possible and go through as much of this as far as questions that we've been asked and frequently asked questions that we found. But we'd love to answer direct questions if you have any as a nonprofit or for-profit business. So I'll mention this. So far in the application process, we have received less restaurants than we thought we might see. Some of that may have to do with some other programs that are available to restaurants, but we want to make sure that you know, as a restaurant owner, that this is a great program for you. You do list any other prior programs or funding, and there's no double dipping in some of these programs, but this program's a fairly straightforward one, and it's very important, especially as a restaurant owner or retail establishment owner. This can be used for prior expenses from 2020. So if you had rent that was due, or if you're behind on that, this might be a great fit for you to try to catch up a little bit. That's something that's really important. There aren't a lot of hurdles as far as reporting It's defined in the application as a basic reporting of how the grant was used. And again, since that can be used for prior expenses from 2020, that can be completed on, that could potentially be completed on your first day of getting the funds if you do have issues with rent or utilities or things like that from the previous year, as many places were required to close down or stop operating for a period of time.
Okay, I have another question that we can ask, and some ask if it is these grants are being considered on a first come first served basis, and they are not on a first come first served basis. These are being considered all if you are applying within the deadline. So again, that's July 30th at 11:59 p.m. And if you have your application submitted by then you are eligible for qualified. Your application will be considered.
Yeah, awesome.
Do we have any other questions coming in?
The application deadline is July 30th. I'm just going to say that over and over again. You'll get sick of it, but the application deadline is July 30th, 11:59 p.m. for you procrastinators. But please don't wait till that last minute. It's really important to get started to see what that looks like. You can save every page. You can save the application as you go. And I do recommend that as you go, you save each page and then move on to the next page. So that you don't lose any information or have to redo any part of this application. It is a fairly straightforward application, but they do require a lot of information. So we'd love to help you out with that, walk you through the application, make sure that you have all the information that you need, and that you can complete it and feel comfortable that you provided adequate amount of explanation and information to qualify for the grant.
And please make sure you submit your application. There have been applications that have come in, and we want to ensure that application is fully processed. So please make sure you submit your application, push that submit button, and again, continue to save throughout that process, but certainly submit. That is one of the the biggest keys here to getting that fully processed. So if there are any questions that you may have that you're not sure if you submitted, just give one of us a call, or again call Leap, call us, and we'd be happy to look into that to make sure that you have that fully submitted.
So I do probably the most questions I've got has been from have received. I don't think that's proper English. I've received has probably been from sole proprietors, because there's some a lot of sole proprietors didn't think that they qualified for this type of grant funding. I've seen other people that just maybe have they just didn't think this was an option for them. And so just to go over kind of what that looks like as a sole proprietor, I just want to make sure those are really clear. If you're a sole proprietor, a major point factor and guide, and this is on the LEAP website. So if you go to purelansing.com/sunrise, this will be available under the scoring guide. And all of this is public information, but I just want to highlight that if you're a sole proprietor and your sole source of income is that business, that you're operating as a sole proprietor, that's a major amount of points that you get. It's 10 points towards the application, which doesn't really mean anything because I'm not outlining how all the points would work for the application. But just to say that it's a very important piece, that's a key element for us trying to help that person recover and continue on with their business. The geographical area is really important. If it's limited to Ingham County, as far as having a physical location or servicing a physical location that's just Ingham County, that increases your point total there. And then what type of industry you're in is greatly affected by the sole proprietor scoring guideline. So again, if you're in a gym, personal care services, so a salon or barbershop, hotel industry, event and entertainment, or something like that. If you're a home-based retailer, that slightly drops the points. If you're a specialty trades or contractor, repair and maintenance type of person, or auto repair, janitorial services, lawn care, landscaping, home repair, maintenance services, all of those would qualify under the sole proprietor guideline. And again, you qualify for this grant. So again, I wanted to just re-emphasize the sole proprietor side of this. We've had a lot of questions regarding sole proprietors, and I just want to make sure people are fully aware that this is a category that fits into the guideline here for the Sunrise program through Ingham County.
Thanks, Chaz. Again, we want to express our thanks to LEAP as well, the Lansing Economic Area Partnership, for giving us this opportunity to continue to spread the word, again, amongst other professional leaders in the community. So again, LEAP was selected to be contracted by Ingham County to design and manage the Ingham County Sunrise program, Sunrise Grant Program. So again, we hats off to LEAP for, again, giving us this opportunity to get out and spread the word. Thank you.
So we've had our phone number, we've had the website, we have our email address all draped along this video. I wanted to make sure that that we highlight the other partners, and specifically, I want to point out the Lansing Chamber of Commerce. You know, they have their reps on here, and we work with the Lansing Chamber. And they're just they're a great group of people, and have awesome resources to help with you, help with your business also. So I'll go in order. So I'm not picking favorites here. I'll go in order on the list as far as those contacts, but that's Michelle Rawl, Daniel Riles, Marcy Zebka, and don't ask me how to spell that. There again, you can reach out to them directly. They are listed on the website as a partner in the program. And they can also help you walk through that application process. This is not just us. And while we are the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber, we have not limited this information or the distribution of this information to only Hispanic business owners. In fact, we've been talking with a lot of women-owned businesses, a lot of Black-owned businesses, and both. And anyone that has a business that's been affected that needs these grant funds to continue operating, and especially operating at an excellent level. And we're really excited to get through that process with you to make sure that you're fully aware of the opportunity that lies before you, and that we can all continue to grow together and unite back as a community as we recover from this time.
Thank you. And I'd like to highlight a couple more entity or actually partners that are helping with this effort. Again, we have Vietnam Veterans of America, Jack Devine. He is and has been instrumental in getting this word out and really helping those. And we also have veteran-owned businesses that are out there. So we'd like to get them on board and help them out as well. We have Disability Network Capital Area. That's another area, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, those are areas of points that can be accumulated in that scoring. So please, again, if you have other organizations, businesses that do have owners that either represent owners of and that have disabilities and or workers, please reach out to any one of our grant partners. But also, again, I wanted to just highlight Disability Network Capital Area, and Diana Maddox can help with that. And all this information is on the website, those partners and those you can reach out to.
Yeah, I want to thank the business commercial associations that have helped us distribute this information also at this time. So the Rio Town Commercial Association, the Old Town Commercial Association, Meridian Area Business Association have all been instrumental to allow us to contact their membership and distribute the link and some of the data points about this program to their membership to make sure that we get out there. We've also been in contact with landlords and groups that service a lot of different clients on the retail side or restaurant side to make sure that they let their tenants know, and we can distribute again to as many people as possible, making this accessible to everyone that qualifies and making sure they get an application in. Again, we can't guarantee that these applications will be approved, but we can guarantee that the opportunity exists. And if you fit within the guidelines that we've been talking about for the last 35 minutes or so, that means that we need to just connect the dots and make those things happen. And we're trying to do that any way we can, which is including this live broadcast to answer any questions, but then hopefully also be a resource for people that have questions about the program, why it exists, and when the deadline is. When is the deadline, Elizabeth?
And the deadline is July 30th at 11:59 p.m.
That is not an invitation to apply at 11:59 p.m. Okay, we're just telling you that's the last minute that this is available through the website. Again, we encourage you to save every page as you go through. You will have the option to save your progress through the application. So save every page as you go. If you have questions, talk to one of the partners, talk to the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber. Be happy to connect you with the resources you need, help you walk through any questions that might seem confusing or you don't have the information. We'll help you try to find it and get that application filled as accurately and appropriate as possible, so that we can potentially get you those funds.
Yep. And if you go right onto the website again, www.purelansing.com/sunrise, you will find in the application window a step process. It will take you through your steps one by one, just starting with step 1, verifying your business, and step 2, just the program information, the scoring guides, and then step 3, working with your program partner. And again, you want to submit completely by July 30th at 11:59 p.m.
So it's July 30th at 11:59 p.m. July 30th, 11:59 p.m. July 30th is the deadline at 11:59 p.m. It's July 30th, in case you're wondering. Again, we want to make sure that that's absolutely clear, that you can start that process as soon as today by going to the website that Elizabeth just mentioned. You can also go to glhchamber.org, and we have a link directly to the Sunrise site and application. That's just our holding spot for our webpage. You can also plug in your email address, so when we have the webpage up, we can notify you. We can notify you of that and any events coming up. We're really excited to be able to continue to work with these businesses and nonprofits, trying to get Ingham County back up and running. I wanted to highlight one aspect here, because it was a question that a nonprofit had for me this morning. Is have you been directly and negatively affected by COVID-19 pandemic and resulting in economic crisis or revenue loss? So for this nonprofit, they had an event that they ran every year for the last 6 years, and it would generate anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 as an event for them. Because of COVID-19, they had to cancel that event, and that no longer was a thing. So that I used as an example. We talked through a couple opportunities for them to, again, give examples in the application process. I said that's a perfect example. It was an event that you've been running for years. You couldn't do it because of COVID-19. That was revenue loss. That was a clear line item where it existed. It didn't exist this year, and so that should be marked on the application as revenue loss. Absolutely. We were happy to get through that piece, and they'll be completing the application before July 30th at 11:59 p.m. Hopefully this week, but definitely before July 30th at 11:59 p.m.
Okay, and I would again like to take some time to highlight some of our partners that are part of this process. And the first one I have right now is Capacito Caliente. So any of our Spanish speakers, we have in Sane Benavides is a contact there and has been again instrumental in really delivering this message out to some of our minority owned businesses, and our Spanish speaking businesses. So we do have resources out there that you can talk with and that we can hook you up with. That can help you through this application process. Another of those are Refugee Development Center. The individuals there at the Refugee Development Center can also help with other language speaking candidates. So please reach out to them, and they will be happy to assist you. And I also want to highlight the Michigan Women Forward. That's another group. Jennifer Moon and Ben Jerick. If you know any of them, please feel free to give them a call if you have any questions. But we again are a partner in this, and we have several partners. But this is kind of one of those times that you need to partner up and really spread this word out. So, but we appreciate the partners that we work with, and we want to continue to deliver this message to you. So please apply.
I don't know that we can say a lot more things without any more questions. So I will pick this up and see if I can get interrupt Jerry to have him broadcast it. It looks like I am getting. Wait, no, that is not a. That is something else. That has nothing to do with this. Here, let me see if I can find us on YouTube. This is exciting. I don't know if it makes exciting internet stuff, but it's exciting to me. Let's do Uno.
Well, while Chaz is doing that, I'll just go ahead and highlight a couple of our other partners that are available for you if you are able to reach out to anyone that you know there. And next up is Melanated Business Alliance. So that is contact over there is Elaine Laws Barker, Dr. Elaine Laws Barker, and again, very instrumental in helping us with this effort on communicating this grant. And NAACP Lansing branch, I believe Fonda Brewer is one of our contacts there. So again, if you know Fonda, I know she loves to talk. So and she has great conversation. So please reach out to her if you need or have any questions as well. And if you feel again, you have any questions for any of us, feel free to reach out to any of us. We are all here. LEAP is there for you, and there's many ways that you can that you can get in touch with us to help you sit down or just to answer those questions. But feel free. Again, the applications are at www.purelansing.com/sunrise, and they also have a /help. So if you need help in any of those categories, or I'm sorry, from any of those organizations, please just reach out.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to announce that depending on need and availability, I will be available next week at the Frandor Mexican restaurant that I can't remember the name. Acapulco. There you go. Sorry, lost me for a second. I'll be next Thursday is the 29th from 2 to 4. As long as I have people to talk to, I will stay there till I have to go to bed if I have to. But I'll be available to go through the applications in person with you. So that is next Thursday, the 29th from 2 to 4. I'll be parked at Acapulco with a couple computers, the restaurant in Frandor, right next to the Blaze Pizza and America's Best. There in Frandor. I'll be sitting at a table. I don't have a sign, but you know what I look like. And I will be happy to walk through and finish applications with anybody who's willing to sit down and try to gather the information with me. Again, we're just trying to make this happen. Make sure that you have the resources that you need. So if you want to start collecting information, you can ask us what information you want, but I will help you press the buttons to make sure that gets submitted, and we'll make sure that we hit the send button. I feel like the anti-Herm Edwards here is that he says don't hit send, but like hit send. Again, that is 2 to 4, and we will add an event to the Hispanic Chamber Facebook page. 2 to 4 next Thursday at Acapulco in Frandor. I'll be there to complete those applications with you to help you figure out whatever whatever we need to figure out to get those submitted way before July 30th, 11:59 p.m. That's July 30th, 11:59 p.m., which is the deadline, by the way, in case we haven't mentioned it enough.
Okay. How about another question? Frequently asked questions. Are franchise businesses eligible to apply? Franchise business locations in Ingham County are eligible to apply if they are minority owned by individuals local to Michigan. So again, if you have any further questions, please send them in. We'd love to hear any questions that we can try to answer for you, but that is one area.
So one clarification there is the word minority. It's actually majority owned. So if you own, if you own 60% of the business, as an example, and you live in Michigan,
Thank you for that
so you live in Michigan, then you would qualify under that category. So if you have, let's say, Little Caesars or Hungry Howie's, those are locally owned. I'm pretty sure. Hi, Dominic. And so, if for Little Caesar or for Hungry Howie's, that is locally owned. He lives in Michigan. The owners all live in Michigan. That would qualify. They have several locations in Ingham County. That would be a perfect one that might qualify for this grant. So.
Thank you for that correction. I thought I was reading that wrong, and I just thought, oh man,
I think
that's pretty limited.
right at 45 minutes,
thank
we starting
you.
to loosen up. We're starting to get used to this. So yeah, no problem. So our phone number is 810-892-3890. We don't have people actively waiting by the phone, but that's a great place for us to document your questions, to get back to you when we as soon as we can, to make sure that you have the information that you need. You can also email us at info@glhchamber.org. That's info@glhchamber.org. And that will also give you a direct access to us so that we can research whatever question you have, come back and try to answer that as adequately, appropriately, and quickly as possible. So I'm running out of things to say, and my throat's getting a little dry, so I'll drink some more water. Elizabeth, what do you got for us?
Well, I just wanted to also clarify that, we have lots of nonprofits that are out there and they're doing their best to keep up. We do realize that there are some nonprofits that are maybe a two-person nonprofit. Two people are working there. Maybe they don't have other workers at that point, and all of their income is going back into the community or going back into the programs. And maybe those individuals are not paying themselves. They are still eligible to apply. So please apply, and you are still considered an employee. You just you may just not be getting the income, but just specify that income is going back into the operations of your business, so or the nonprofit. So if you have any other questions about that or any questions related, please get those in, and we can try to get those answered for you.
I'll in a different direction slightly, I'll answer a question that we've gotten, which is as far as hurdles or questions on the application. Just want to make sure that you know that Leap has done an absolute excellent job with their help page and their frequently asked question page. And that's been intentional. They've been updating as we go throughout the last few weeks. So what I mean by that is that don't let anything stop you from continuing trying to save the application, answer as much as you can, and then keep moving on. And use the website as a resource too. We've had a couple people reach out, and we've contacted them within minutes of them asking the question, and they've already figured it out because they went to the website, looked at the help page, and got the answer they needed and moved on and submitted the application. So that's a huge resource for you, and don't let that be a hurdle. If you run into one thing that is that you can't quite answer, do your best, continue, keep saving every page, and then definitely check out the help. Then also you can utilize us as a resource as much as possible. I just don't want that to be a stopping point for anybody to think that they can't move on. You can again fill it out as well as possible. Keep going, keep saving. Just don't submit until you get that clarification, and then make sure you do the anti-Herm Edwards and press send. So
Well, I don't have anything. Do we have any questions coming in?
I don't see any additional questions coming in. Is there anything from YouTube or YouTube land? Nope. I think we'll wrap this up. Again, I will remind you that I will be physically parked at the Acapulco in Frandor, that restaurant, from 2 to 4 next Thursday, specifically to help people get through this process. Hit the send button, make sure all the applications are complete. So please come see me. I'll have a big thing of chips there and salsa, maybe even some queso if we get a lot of people. And we'll make it happen. Make sure that we get those applications submitted, because July 30th is the deadline at 11:59 p.m. So on the 29th, we're really, again, trying to push that button as many times as possible to make sure that our community benefits the most out of these resources, and the money gets to who it needs to, regardless of their circumstance, to just fill out an application. We don't want that to be a barrier for anybody to be able to access this grant and continue serving our community, whether a nonprofit or a for-profit business that adds value to our community.
Okay. And I just wanted to give a quick deadline, or I'm sorry, a timeline on the awards for these. So they will be distributed in 3 tranches based on category. So the first will be set out for August 31st, and the second will be September 30th. The third and final will be on August 31st. So that's when you will be able to see those full details of that distribution. And again, www.purelansing.com/sunrise. You can find those and the listings there once they are delivered and confirmed.
So one last thing that we did not do yet, and we're only 51 minutes into this thing, is say thank you to our video production sponsor, UnoDeuce Multimedia. They are live streaming this to YouTube for us. They're live streaming it to Facebook. They're doing all the production, and regardless of the lack of talent on this side of the desk, they're still making it look really good. And so we really appreciate their sponsorship to be able to do this and get this to you, to make sure that it is a high quality product. That we're really grateful for this opportunity, and to do it in this excellent way. So thank you to UnoDeuce Multimedia. To the staff here, they do an excellent job working with nonprofits like ours, and we really appreciate them sponsoring this today, so we can get this message out to you and communicate as much as possible this information to make sure that you're aware of what's happening in your community.
Thank you. And again, just wanted to reiterate, just please get out there and apply. If you're unsure, just apply. If you're unsure and you don't want to apply, call us, ask us questions. Let us know what your hesitation is, but don't give up on applying. Get out there. The money's there, and we really want to get this economy rolling again. So just apply and submit. Don't forget
And
to
submit and hit send. Hit send. So thank you so much from the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber. My name is Chaz Carrillo, the president of the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber, and this is
Elizabeth Hernandez as vice president of the Greater Lansing Hispanic Chamber.
We're so glad for this opportunity for Ingham County, for LEAP giving us this opportunity to partner with them and all the other partners we've mentioned throughout the program. We really hope you take this seriously, that you look at this opportunity for these funds, and you contact us with any questions or hurdles in completing the application, so that we all can benefit the most, and our community can benefit the most from these funds to Ingham County businesses and nonprofits. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
And I want to wish everyone good luck.